Listen, you don't understand it. Mein family, mein Vater, mein Mutig. We do not hate the Jews. We do not hate them. I did go to Gaza. I didn't.
What? I just want to point out how gross it is that he's not paying attention to a video about starving Gazan children as he eats.
I believe what the Houthis are doing in terms of stopping Israel doing a genocide to implement a blockade on the Red Sea is a good thing. 10 toes down. They're on the morally right side.
And his go-to responses are that they're taken out of context, or people just don't get it, or you're a Zionist Nazi. And it doesn't line up at all with his appearances in mainstream media. He's got a much cleaner and more approachable personality, so much so that he's even referred to himself as
Zoomer NPR.
So I decided I wanted to take a look and see what Zoomer NPR was really like. For 1 week, I would watch Hasan stream, start to finish, and report back what I learned. Let's see how Zoomer NPR stacks up to regular NPR.
What? Is that an actual quote by him? Nice. Based.
I've made a terrible mistake. I really don't like this meme that Democrats just use diversity to paper over institutions without substantively changing them, especially when you compare them to Republicans. All you need to do is take a look to see that they are very different. Trying to critique by calling out something as tokenization becomes its own form of tokenization because you misunderstand the circumstances and deny the agency of the people who choose to be a part of those systems. How far are we into this? 5 minutes. Video game me and a Minecraft. The actual stream starts. He spends about 30 minutes talking about his last basketball game.
With hydration, especially, you know?
Alright, that's fine, I guess. We're easing in. Streaming is a more casual form of content. What's first? Stable Ronaldo was told he's in a sundown town.
Question, is this a sundown town?
Oh yeah, like 9 o'clock.
What is a stable Ronaldo? Shows the audience some green books he has, that's fine, but we're now 45 minutes in. Can we get to the news? We're on Twitter. Why are we on Twitter?
GOP comms director throwing a Roman. Wait, that is the GOP comms director?
He's letting us know there's Nazis on Twitter, and they're white women.
Her name is literally Mary Jane Trumper. Party Haley McAnally? Haley McAnally.
Guys, there are white women Nazis on Twitter, and they have funny names.
White ladies that did not have like any sort of interesting personality quirks would just be like a regular run-of-the-mill Republican. Now, they just hit the Sig Heil.
He calls out libs of TikTok for being a Nazi despite being Jewish.
The people that did that historically did the Holocaust. Yet World War II was just a meme.
Put a pin in that.
Let's move on from all these freaks and weirdos.
We're an hour and 15 minutes in now. Where's the news? Why is Zoomer NPR just a curated Twitter feed of Nazis? And we're looking at more Twitter Nazis. Who are these guys?
Some Nazis lose to today's football match in Rivne, Ukraine.
They're Ukrainian Twitter Nazis, specifically the Azov Battalion, which leads into Hasan giving his point of view on what Ukraine should be doing for peace.
I'm an advocate for the Minsk agreements, an infinitely better proposal than what the is going on currently. But there is under no circumstances a reasonable justification for Russia invading Ukraine, a sovereign power. Donbass is different than Crimea, and Crimea is an annexation that is, in my opinion, justifiable. It is a part of Russia, okay?
Finally, the news. They're talking about Texas trying to redistrict in order to push Democrats out of their seats. Hasan lets the clip run without giving any meaningful commentary.
Gavin Newsom is a fake demon. He really is. He really is. He's a fake demon. Gavin Newsom's major problem in California is public transit and the housing market. I fucking despise him. I think he's a demon. I guess the silver lining here in a weird, twisted way is that means that like elections will happen.
I need to explain something. It's not a defense of the Israeli state to say that when you criticize Israel, you should be accurate. Obfuscating reality for the sake of vilifying your enemy makes it harder to actually deal with issues on the ground because you waste time disentangling fact from fiction. That is a truth that goes in both directions. And for a government that will enthusiastically pounce on any scrap of misinformation to discredit the entirety of a criticism, you need to be sure you're giving them no opportunity. Make sense? Cool. While Hakeem Jeffries talks to Wolf Blitzer about needing to get more aid into Gaza, Hasan can only focus on the fact that apparently they're both funded by AIPAC.
AIPAC spokesperson Wolf Blitzer is interviewing current AIPAC-funded politician.
Orders are in priority.
Nothing to see here, man. Just
an Israeli who's...
Holy f***. It's not Zoomer NPR, it's just left-wing Fox News. Oh no.
Grandparents were kidnapped, one of them was murdered, is saying that they need to end the war, and his chat is calling him a Nazi. Again, this person has family that was killed by Hamas on October 7th.
Jesus Christ.
And they seem repulsed by him. They should be thanking him. Instead, they're self-righteously alienating the people they need to get the fighting to stop. Then he watches a John Oliver segment and criticizes John for not covering Gaza more.
He was noticeably absent from the conversation.
But that's all we get before he gets stunlocked by a chatter who says they were in the IDF in Gaza.
I've been to Gaza several times.
He proceeds to call him a Nazi, and Israel Nazis doing a Holocaust for the next 30 minutes.
You are literally a terrorist, brother. Terrorist. You are defending a Nazi state's Nazi military. You are a terrorist. I'm a adult. I can handle this conversation. Listen, you don't understand it. Mein family, mein Vater, mein Mutig. We do not hate the Jews. We do not hate them. I did go to Gaza. I didn't.
What? What was that for?
Israel is built on the principles of Zionism, okay? Which is, as I repeated, a Nazi ideology.
You know that like there was like a whole ass kingdom of Israel like 2,000 or whatever years ago. Right? That was like a real place. That's not like a fantasy land, right? That was like a real place that really existed in that in that part of the world, right? That was like a real, actual place. Why does nobody ask these people, like, how do you think the Arabs got there? I feel like they never...
Asking me if Israel should exist is like asking, should Nazi Germany exist?
What?
Okay, we're finally off Israel, thank God. And we're on to Zoran Mamdani. Okay, Fox News doesn't like him, and he spent the next 30 minutes on temps.
With the pepperoni nips.
Okay, now it looks like he's talking about the news. That's nice. Anyway, he finally hits play on the video, and he walks away. First comment when he comes back.
Kind of pointing to.
It seems like India no longer lying, and my heart goes out to the Hindutva fascists. I feel like they probably thought that like Modi and Trump were literally the best friends on the planet. Like no one is a closer friend to India than Donald Trump.
We then spend the last hour of the stream on 2 separate Fox and Friends interviews with TikTok influencers who give male fashion advice and female dating advice respectively. And then the stream ends. Day 1 over. What did we learn? Okay, what's going on today?
I watched the first episode of King of the Hill. It was all right.
He's going to debate Charlie Kirk.
Dartmouth, where I'm going to be debating Charlie Kirk.
And apparently Epstein had a photo with
I
Castro.
know.
He's really disappointed about that.
How the f does he have a photo with Fidel, bro?
First news story. Sarah Huckabee Sanders visits the Western Wall.
Literally, this is the one thing about Judaism that I do not know. Like, I mean, I've learned deep lore on this broadcast about Sukkot, about the citrus, about the stick and the tent. It's just a holy wall. I don't know. Wait, what the f? You don't know either? How do you?
Wait, am I retarded? Isn't the Western Wall, isn't this supposed to be the last remaining wall of the Second Temple or whatever before it was destroyed by invaders? Okay, I feel like this is like one of the most popular holy relics in all of Jerusalem, and it's literally outside of the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound or whatever. How do you not know? wait, what this is? No? How do you know the deep lore and have never heard of the Western Wall? Wait, how could you not know that? Wait, what?
This is the Temple Mount, mega holy, great place to pray.
How has he been doing commentary on Israel-Palestine for so long and he doesn't know about the Western Wall?
It's like one of the most popular holy relics, maybe the like most contested one, because if the entire Temple Mount area, if that was all given to Palestinians in some kind of like land exchange or deal, while Arabs have held it in the past, I believe Jews are never allowed to go and visit. But when Israel holds it, they let the Arabs go and pray in the mosque or whatever, but then the Jews can also visit the Western Wall. This is one of Israel's arguments for why they should be in control of, or at least like the administrator of it, basically.
It's one of the main points of contention in
Teach me, brother, what made the wall wail so bad? Your mom rode a massive... I don't know why they called it the... Are they just sad because the temple got destroyed, I guess, maybe? That's my guess. I don't know why it's called the Wailing Wall or why they cry about it.
Negotiations for the 2-state solution.
It's just a wall, man. Calm down. Like, politicians are doing the classic, like, we're going to Israel to show how to show how much we love Israel.
It's just a wall? I mean, couldn't you just tell all the people that go to that Al-Aqsa Mosque, like, it's just a mosque, bro? Like, go build another one?
Routine, that's it.
Okay, an hour and 20 minutes in, actual news. Trump is on the roof.
Oh, he's getting up there.
Doesn't do any investigating, just thinks it's funny.
Do a flip.
Destiny, if they dig, they will find the historical records of the historic Israeli kingdom, blah, blah. It's the most contentious part, lol. Well, that's it. I think that's like deeper lore. But yeah, there's a lot of Muslims that deny the fact that there was ever a temple there. I believe even, I think Mahmoud Abbas even denies it. I think it might be like a Palestinian, you have to. It's like part of the thing. But a lot of them say there were never Jews there. That's why anytime any digging happens in the area, people get super ass pain. Because if the Jews were to find like actual geological evidence of there being an older temple, I think like half the Muslim population has to kill themselves or whatever.
Mayor Adams, this is all about Israel, 100%.
And we're back to Israel because he's corrupt because of AIPAC.
And Israel is not even just about Israel. Israel is about democracy. AIPAC money is consequential. It is important, especially at a time like this. In late recording, Cory Booker says he and AIPAC president text message back and forth like teenagers.
Dude, how much do these people talk about Jews? What the Destiny, what's stopping them from actually digging properly? Politics. It would cause a huge uproar. It would be there'd be a lot of problems, so they just don't.
We spent 2 hours listening to Tucker Carlson's podcast uncritically. Hasan will tell you that Tucker is a fascist.
Tucker Carlson is not an ally, and I will explain to you why over and over again.
He'll just also tell you he agrees with everything they're talking about.
Everything from here on out, he's cooking with gas. He's 100% correct.
This is serial doxer, harasser, and all-around awful human being, bad empanada.
Stupid name, stupid unit.
The noted terrorist, Menachem Begin, whose name I surely mispronounced, but I mean, modern Hebrew is a constructed language anyway. They pronounce everything wrong.
Hasan won't correct that little obvious anti-Semitic.
What does that mean? It's a constructed language. Are there languages that are like natural to humankind that aren't constructed? What does that mean?
He reads the full Trump social media post about Schiff. Then he reads another full Trump tweet, this time about the Doge kid named Big Balls getting mugged, and completely glosses over the part where Trump talks about federalizing DC because of a fact he finds out about the attackers.
One of them is a girl?
Western Wall, people pray there. Israel wants territory with no capacity to maintain it, and they're Nazis. Trump abusing power, worth it to hurt Dems. Based!
So he begins with streamer and YouTube drama. I don't care, you don't care, let's not care together. He says the country Georgia
I'm not very familiar with Georgia.
wants to join the EU because they're Christian, but they look Turkish, so they get the anti-Turkish racism and not the anti-Slav Polish racism.
Georgians look Turkish,
Okie dokie then. I feel like there's some backstory here he could elaborate on to not make that seem like a bizarre tangent.
you know?
Where is, excuse me, the anti-Turkish racism? These guys that are in that are in NATO that seem to enjoy pretty broad support from the rest of the world whenever it matters. Like, wait, where's all this Turkish oppression happening at? Am I missing something? Wait, what?
No?
But instead, we look at an article in the New Republic about Hasan. He says the media hits about him are coming because the media was objectively wrong about the election and not because he's paying for PR.
We know Jeffrey Epstein might be related to foreign intelligence, but it's certainly not Chinese, okay? The foreign intelligence that Jeffrey Epstein is
We're back to, wait, this has to be like a supercut. There's no way he talks about Jews this much on stream, right? This is wild.
associated with is Israeli intelligence.
For the last 10 years, Republicans have been...
Am I becoming a Turkish racist? Wait, because Anna and Cenk do the same shit. Is there like a Turkish communication network or something where they get the talking points? What the
hyping themselves up on QAnon conspiracy theories of a secret government pedophile ring. And now the left is doing the same thing. Fantastic. We watch Mark Maron, talks about Austin, Texas, calling Californians who move there the Israelis of Americans.
Californians are really the Israelis of America?
Anna is Armenian. Doesn't matter. She's been captured by Turkish interests on the Young Turks, the network named after the group responsible for genociding her ancestors. We need critical support for the Greeks, okay? We need more Malakas on stream ASAP, all right? Exclusively. We will be exclusively platforming Greek creators, all right? We need to take back Constantinople, all right?
Calling Californians who move there the Israelis of Americans.
Californians are really the Israelis of America? True.
And now let's get ready for all of that Republican criticism to leave the viewer's mind because we've reached everybody's favorite topic.
Oh, Israel-Palestine, yes!
I just want to point out how gross it is that he's not paying attention to a video about starving Gazan children as he eats.
For malnutrition. Tempest flare on the streets of Tel Aviv.
Okay, that's... Wait, this looks like a guy I talked to. Oh, it's all Mert. What?
Favorite topic.
Causes.
I just want to point out how gross it is that he's not paying attention to a video about starving Gazan children as he eats.
That it's not even just about Israel any longer. It is about democracy. The Israeli military officials, the generals, were routinely saying there is no military solution to Hamas. There is no military solution to Hamas. We cannot militarily defeat Hamas.
Further evidence of Israeli Nazism is generals publicly disagreeing with their leader's intended military campaign.
Hamas is just an idea. Palestinian sovereignty. Yeah, Fred Hampton said it best. You can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill a revolution.
It's just using a figure.
What? Hamas is the revolution now? What?
Who was left-wing and explicitly non-violent to launder a right-wing, theocratic, authoritarian group's mission is just really gross.
The term anti-Semite not having a serious consequential impact any longer has allowed actual fucking virulent anti-Semites to become major propagandists, engaging in reputation laundering.
I didn't expect Hasan to make my argument for me.
Fucking farm the table, baby. That's right. Locally grown, organic bathtub RPGs that they use on the Israeli tank. Electronic Intifada does an assessment report every day.
Wait, did we watch Hasan on stream? Did he believe that video where supposedly the people in Gaza were hand making sniper rifles? Did he believe that video? Does he think yes? Oh my god. Honestly, RPGs, if I had to guess, an RPG is probably easier to make than a sniper rifle, huh? Could they make RPG? What do you even need for an RPG? Just a tube, right? The artisan sniper rifles? Yeah, Jesus.
Hey, almost. I, of course, can't play them on the broadcast.
Nothing to see here, just Zoomer NPR casually telling his audience where to find videos of Hamas putting together booby traps to ambush IDF soldiers, along with footage of the subsequent attacks.
It is literally not only the legal thing for the Palestinians to do,
He keeps leaning on this, and it's not true. You cannot kill people or wage war like this. It's not okay. You're not allowed to do that. He says this over and over again. No one will ever challenge him on it, but you can't. That's not legal. You can't do that.
To smoke the Israeli occupying force soldiers that are sitting inside of their armored personnel carriers, okay, that are currently conducting a ethnic cleansing campaign. It is also the moral thing for them to do. The double Monty, both legal and moral.
But that doesn't absolve the fact that October 7th was horrific. That doesn't.
Oh, he did.
A video that came out of how Hamas produces their own motherfucking sniper rifles called the Qassam Ghul sniper rifle, which is derived from the Iranian AM-50 Sayyad. These motherfuckers are making artisanal bathtub sniper rifles, man. That's crazy. Is that COD?
Like, where are they setting up outside in the Gaza Strip that's under surveillance?
That's crazy. It's basically like the YouTube videos I watch regularly, but they aren't making guns usually, but the machinery, wow, so good, genuinely impressed, not necessarily in a good way by what Hamas has been capable of. Mechanical engineer here to make an entire sniper rifle on a 1940s manual lathe is insane levels of work and precision. Incredible. We will continue killing your soldiers by our locally manufactured snipers. Wow, there's a little message for the Americans out there as well. If you are still talking about October 7, you just want to give permission to Israel to do the genocide, but
What?
you're too ashamed to stand 10 toes down and say it. I'm an advocate for the Minsk agreements, an infinitely better proposal than what the is going on currently.
The transphobic joke is a nice touch.
She actually went through gender confirmation. Yeah, Sargon of Mossad.
Next, we watch a video of a guy asking people if they're Hasan fans. This takes 45 minutes. Then we're onto a video about drama with the YouTuber Mudahar. Then Chris Cuomo thinking AI AOC is A-OK. And finally, it's over. What did I learn today? That migraines hurt a lot. I'm going to go lie down and think on my sins.
It does seem a little behind on stream, but I need you to understand that the Jews did 9/11 is the accepted narrative in MENA, which is Middle East, North Africa. There isn't a backdoor media machine making people believe anti-Semitic. It's just how the internet have evolved because of MENA people participating more and more in Western media circles through immigration or just penetrating Western online communities. It wouldn't surprise me if the average MENA Arab or Muslim person believed that. I don't know how true it is for Western world immigrants. I'm not sure, but okay. Epstein used by Israel for blackmail. Israel. Nazis using Epstein evidence for blackmail. Nazis. Democrats corrupt, ineffective. All right.
Don't care. I don't care.
Mr.
I don't
Beast
care.
is confirmed to be a Mossad PSYOP plan.
An American who served in the IDF had their car torched. He assumes that Israel planted the story to get sympathy.
I assume that they thought that they could get Israel could get good coverage out of this.
Jenk's most epic rant yet. Oh, wait, what?
That's why it's deeply ironic when they keep throwing around that anti-Semitic word, right? Which now means absolutely nothing. They ruin that word. It used to mean something, now it means heroic fighter for peace. Because if you fight for peace, they're gonna call you an anti-Semite, guaranteed. And they're gonna say it 2 billion times over, because it's a one-trick pony, and they're giant liars, and all they love to do is smear everyone else. They're like, oh, don't ignore our genocide. The real problem is people criticizing us. They're so evil and hateful. You know what, everybody's sick of that. We're vomiting that word. We can't stand it anymore. Now when anybody uses the word anti-Semite, they're almost definitely a racist. Because they're the ones who say, no, yeah, Israeli children are the most precious children in the world. I think Israeli children are as precious as every child on planet Earth. I hope none of them ever get hurt, right? Now we say the same thing about Palestinian children. They're like, no, you're an anti-Semite if you don't agree that we should have murdered 20,000 of their kids. We should murder another 20,000. And if you don't say it, you hate Jews. Israel controls America. Saying anything otherwise is absurd. It's counterfactual.
That's the donor class.
How could in the middle of a famine, forced famine, all of these dead children, 98% of our government is still kissing Israel's ass? It's pro-genocide. I accuse them of being deeply immoral scumbags. Oh, where's the money? Where's the money? Our politicians sicken me.
And our media, oh, no. Congressional hearings on anti-Semitism. Protect the poor Israelis. The real problem is how you guys are offending the Israelis. No, the politicians, they're not crooks. They ignore the AIPAC money. If you say AIPAC money, oh, that's it, you're hateful. You know, shut up. Lie on behalf of Israel. You have to lie on behalf of Israel. That's what mainstream media says. If you work at mainstream media and you still haven't called it a genocide, you're a coward. You're a sniveling, immoral, deeply evil coward. I'm sick of the people in power in this country using it to abuse people. They never help us. They never help us. We've given Israel $310 billion. And then Israel comes and says, you owe us. You owe us. Are you kidding me? We don't owe you a goddamn thing. We should cut off Israel. They're not an ally. Let's be clear about it. No one has gotten us in more trouble. No one has caused more harm. No one has caused more wars in my lifetime than Israel. Israel is not our ally. At this point, they are our enemy. They take money from us. They incriminate us to the whole world. They implicate us in their immoral war crimes. No one has hurt this country more than Israel has. Israel is our top enemy. Enemy! Cut off the goddamn funding. You're taking my money to murder Palestinian children. You goddamn racist. That's how I feel about it. Young Turks.
Every time you ring the bell below.
Of course!
Thank you, Cenk. This always strikes me as the perfect example of the ultra-globalization of politics, where a millionaire Turkish socialist living in America who is completely unaffected by a conflict in the Middle East says that any mainstream media agent in the West who has not called the conflict a genocide is a racist Nazi. True! Very globalized. All right. Anyway, back to this guy.
What is this? Mike from PA just spent 5 hours apologizing for using the word demonic. Yeah, look, I'm not speaking on his situation, but the Israeli Defense Force is conducting a genocide. I'm not saying an entire ethnicity of people or even an entire nation.
I like how he gives no cover to his orbiters. Oh my God.
Don't tell strangers that you're Israeli or Jewish. Don't post your travel plans on social media or revealing information / post about your trip in real time. I'll leave you with just one question. Is there any country that needs to warn its citizens to hide their identity when traveling overseas? There is currently, as it stands, okay, there are countries that I suspect do this. Russians probably, to a certain degree, do this. Americans also experience a level of shame, so they will claim that they're Canadian or whatever. But you're doing a genocide.
Just as a heads up, now I don't know if this has changed in the past year or two. I know that like Americans love to do this like self-flagellation thing of like, oh, the whole world, blah, blah. Prior to, now I've heard things have been a little bit differently ever since Vance gave that unhinged speech a year ago. There is no place you go in the world, or at least that I ever traveled, where people are like, oh, you're an American? What a horrible, terrible thing. I've never in my life experienced this. I don't believe that this actually happened. Maybe if you were to go to like some place we just bombed or whatever, or maybe in like, I'm sure there are some countries that hate us. But I've never seen it. Like people act like you go to Europe, you have to like hide the fact that you're from America. When you're going to like Germany or France, or like this is not the case, okay?
Day 5. Come on, Hasan, hit me. Next. He's in Chicago today for the Democratic Socialist Convention to interview Rashida Tlaib.
We're here with Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib.
Wow, that was fast. It wasn't. It took an hour where nothing happens to get here. We just unironically watched someone's commute to work. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib represents Michigan's 12th district, which notably includes parts of Detroit and Dearborn. What are they going to talk about?
But the lack of really feeling like the party has their back.
Fantastic.
They wanted to campaign with Liz Cheney.
Kamala did 3 campaign stops with Liz Cheney and gave no concessions in exchange. It was entirely about the importance of stopping Trump.
I mean, I watched them botch the minimum wage and to botch environmental protections.
There were constantly like a revolving villain.
Bro, if you were to watch the way that these lefties talked about the Cheney shit, you would have thought that Cheney was going to be Kamala's vice president. They were obsessed with that. Oh my God.
The interview ends, and the funniest thing happens.
We don't really have a formal democracy at this point. We are going to elect a socialist mayor. We don't really have a formal democracy.
I'm running for re-election.
We don't really have a formal democracy. And even when we don't win,
there is no democracy at all.
Hasan meets some of his fans. After that, he meets up with the hosts of the Jam Pod for a school supply drive.
We're gonna go get some food now.
I am so happy this stream is so short. Not even an Am Yisrael high can bring me down. We're going to be listening to an interview with Jonathan Greenblatt, the head of the 80.
Oh my God. Watching Hasan try to rewrite his...
Here's
when of all the clips of Hasan just getting random shit like sent to his Snapchat. Also, by the way, you're assuming that he's not communicating back and forth with these chicks. He absolutely is, but I like that he pretends that he's not. The way that he reframes this is so fucking funny.
Here's one of your friends. Here's one of your friends saying that there's nudes on your phone as like either a joke or the famous Cosmo article where I'm talking to a journalist and I'm like, oh, my fans are sending me merch, like photos of themselves wearing my merch. And then in the process of me like going through those photos, there's one that was an unsolicited nude. And I said, oop, that was a nude. And then we moved on. It's not something that I had requested or it's not something that I'm like distributing. It's just, it's completely ridiculous. But the reason why they do this is because whenever a content creator is in trouble in any of these circles, like I am basically a magnet for for deflecting attention away.
I just love how like on the nose he is about what he does with me too, right? If anytime something bad is going on, people just pull the Hasan cord and then they just try to pivot and divert to random that's not related at all.
They will, anyway, as I was saying, I'm like a magnet for like some of the worst scumbags online, as you guys have seen.
Why would you even have, listen, as the champion Coomer, even I don't have a public open Snapchat. Why would you even have, that actually seems really weird to me. Why? That's just such a weird thing to, unless you just want, wait, maybe I should have a public Snapchat.
So they'll immediately go, well, Hasan has done this. It's actually worse what he's done. And it's like not the same thing at all.
It was just one time that it was a joke and it doesn't even happen. And okay, dude.
DL. Ah, boy.
A little bit worried.
It's all the same talking points. The last 5 days, he's just saying the same thing over and over again. And I'm extremely tempted to just roll through, but
once the British Empire took over British Mandate Palestine, they basically engaged in a settler colonial operation by sending as many Jewish people to this area as they possibly could.
That's not even remotely true, but okay.
And they did that for a deliberate purpose, to create a settler colony
that's also not even remotely true, but okay,
could be controlled and maintained in this resource-rich region.
What are the resources in Israel? This is the shittiest piece of what do they want, the Jaffa oranges? What are they trying to extract from them?